the system, everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all.
Riley, that is my return of service fees. Where were you guys? What's that for customer service, homie?
See this whole sign here says no. Well, obviously no weapons, but it says no recording devices of any kind, no large backpacks, obviously no drugs or alcohol.
Yeah, you'll write it with him. I'll write it with him real quick too. That's mine, Riley. Here's the pen, Riley.
Exactly, Boko, exactly. Hey, Tiff, how you doing? Welcome in.
When is she in? Okay.
Hey, Mouse, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, God, Mouse. It sounded like country music. Jody, welcome in.
Other than maybe Lehigh Valley, but I'm gonna have to lay that side by side. So what were you guys doing? You guys see the depositions on that case too. Yeah. They're under protection order right now, but I don't really care what the court says, so I'm gonna release them soon. It's the whole thing.
See, I don't know why, but that reminds me of the guy who went to court and substance charges and it's like, that's pretty stupid, Pirate. That's pretty stupid.
Do you have any reasonable suspicion or probable cause of a crime? No. So, you just do anything your chief tells you to do? I mean, it's, once you get a...
Hey, Four Corner, how you doing? Welcome in.
You can't just avoid questions, you gotta answer them, and it comes out. Now, I don't have any thought in my head whatsoever. I just do what I do for a paycheck. And
Thank you, Heather, I appreciate that.
Leon Valley ended, by the way. It was just about 3 months ago, I think, that we settled for $500,000. Leon Valley spent over $1 million.
Crafty, welcome in, lady. Welcome in. How you doing, ma'am?
Defending against our lawsuit before settling for $500,000. And all that was about recording.
You know what the funny thing is? The government has cameras. They can record us, but they hate us recording them.
We have a courthouse in our police station, so. $1.5 million. I think that we can cost this 7th Judicial Court a lot more than that. Or they could just respect people's rights. They seem to think that I want to fight out. Wouldn't it be better? And Riley, did you get to talk to Mr. Bennett? You know, after I left earlier? Not here. Will he be here tomorrow? Chief of police got fired. And the city manager got fired. Monday, the city council was voted out. The half that was with us and our rights, the other half stayed, and they did recall.
Nice, Four Corner, nice. Glad you finally got this sent out. Hey, Guilty, how you doing? Oh, I know, Guilty, I know.
Okay, so how would I go about finding out if it's doing virtual hearings or in-person hearings or?
Hey, Four Corners report. How you doing? Good to see you.
Is he working out of here on the Saguaro office or just here or?
That's true, Guilty. That's very true.
So where would I call? I mean, is there no written schedule anywhere or?
Heather, great to see you, as always.
And you send it out to the courts or to? Okay. Okay, great. You know, I've been learning, and I just like to witness everything. Yes, that would be awesome, right?
Hey, Sixth Estate, how you doing? Long time no see. How you doing? Ah, Precious Ranker, welcome in. How you doing? Indeed, Ranker, indeed. I like supporting my local cop watchers, 1-8 people.
Has this gotten old fast for anybody else in the chat here?
Right, guilty, right?
You read the court rule on recording in courtrooms too, right?
See, what I find funny is that that's a camera. That black dome back there, that's a camera. All those black domes on the ceiling, those are cameras. They can watch us, but they hate it when we watch them. Oh, the hypocrisy of it all.
I mean, like, we were worried that you were hurt back there. You know, but is someone else hurt back there? Did you beat him up? Maybe. You kind of beat me up by not coming out for a half hour here, man. I mean, this
Dang, Ranker, what's your court date for?
Now it is. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good one, Riley. Hey, Riley, I let Susan know that my HIPAA was filed today, so the deadline starts from today. So, thank you very much.
Hey, John Eagle, how you doing? Good to see you.
I'll just come back tomorrow since it's closed now after 4, and I had an HIPAA to do, but had to wait so long. So now it's past 4 o'clock, so I don't want to keep you past closing. I'll come back in the morning. All right, thanks, Riley. Susan's not going to be here tomorrow, is she? I'll come back on Monday. She'll be here Monday, right? Excellent. All right, thanks, sir.
Hey, no name. Thank you, no name. Always a pleasure.
Going to have a vacation day on Monday, I think. You got better things to do, don't you? I mean, you got other calls out there? Yes, sir. There are way more important things to be doing. This is so effing ridiculous. Yep.
You guys want anything else?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thanks, man.
Everyone remembers this fiasco at the Torrance County Courthouse, and this was posted on the wall. It says Supreme Court General Rules, Statute 23-107, Broadcasting, Televising, Photographing, and Recording of Court Proceedings Guidelines. The broadcasting, televising, photographing, recording of court proceedings in the Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, and District Court of the State of New Mexico are hereby authorized in accordance with the guidelines set forth in this rule, which establishes safeguards to ensure that these types of media coverage shall not detract from the dignity of the court proceedings or otherwise interfere with the achievement of a fair and impartial hearing. Notice, the broadcasters, photographers, recorders shall notify the clerk of the particular court at least 24 hours in advance coverage of the desire to cover the proceeding. Each trial judge may, in judge's discretion, lengthen or shorten the time for advance notice for coverage of a particular proceeding. And then the only portion they put in here is F. Inapplicability to individuals. Privileges granted by these rules may be exercised only by persons or organizations that are part of the news media. Apparently, that was a paraphrasing. Here's the full statute in its entirety. 23-107. Broadcasting, televising, photographing, and recording of court proceedings guidelines. The broadcasting, televising, photographing, and recording of court proceedings in the Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, District Court, and Metro Courts of the State of New Mexico are hereby authorized in accordance with the guidelines set forth in this rule, which establishes safeguards to ensure that these types of media coverages shall not detract from the dignity of the court proceedings or otherwise interfere with the achievement of a fair and impartial hearing. Guidelines. A. Discretion of the court. Live court proceedings shall not be limited by the objection of the counsel or parties, except that the Supreme Court reserves to the individual courts the right to limit or deny coverage for good cause. 1. Media coverage in the courts is subject by all times to the authority of the judge or judges to A. Control the conduct of the proceedings of the court. B. Ensure the decorum and prevent distractions, and C. Ensure fair administration of justice of the pending cause. 2. The court has sole and plenary discretion to exclude coverage of certain witnesses, including but not limited to victims of certain crimes and their families, police informants, and other agents, relocated witnesses, and juveniles. 3. Neither the jury nor any members of the jury may be filmed in or near the courtroom, nor shall the jury selection process be filmed. The judge has discretionary power to forbid coverage whenever the judge is satisfied that coverage may be deleterious effect on the paramount right of the defendant to a fair trial. 5. Audio pickup. Broadcast or recording of a tender of evidence offered by a party for the purpose of determining admissibility before the judge out of the hearing of the jury is not permitted. Audio pickup. Broadcast photography, televising, recording, conference of the courtroom between members of the court and counsel, co-counsel, or counsel and client is not permitted. B. Notice. The broadcasters, photographers, and recorders shall notify the clerk of the particular court at least 24 hours in advance of coverage of the desire to cover the proceeding. Each trial judge may, in the judge's discretion, lengthen or shorten the time advance of notice for coverage of a particular proceeding. C. Decorum. The decorum and dignity of the courtroom proceedings must be maintained at all times. Court customs must be followed, including appropriate attire. Movement in the courtroom shall be limited except during breaks or recess. The changing of tapes, film, magazines, film, and similar actions during the proceedings shall be avoided. Delta. Standards. The media shall maintain high journalistic standards regarding the fairness, objectivity, and the quality of the coverage allowed under these guidelines. E. Equipment and personnel. Unless otherwise agreed upon by the court, equipment and personnel within the courtroom hearing shall be limited as follows. All equipment shall be operated behind the rail. Not more than one portable television camera operated, not more than one person shall be permitted. Only natural lighting shall be used. Cameras shall be quiet and shall be placed and operated as unobtrusively as possible within the courtroom at a location approved by the court. The cameras shall be in at least 15 minutes before the proceeding begins. Not more than 2 audio systems shall be permitted. All running wires shall be securely taped to the floor. Multiple radio feeds shall be provided by a junction box. Not more than 2 still photographers utilizing not more than 1 still camera each shall be permitted. The camera must not produce any distracting sounds. Only natural lighting shall be used. Still photographers shall remain in one place during the proceedings, but they may shift positions during breaks or recess. Tape recorders shall be used by members of the media so long as they do not constitute a distraction during the proceedings. Any pooling arrangements necessary shall be the sole responsibility of the media and must be concluded prior to coverage without calling upon the court to mediate any dispute regarding appropriate media personnel. In applicability to individuals, the privileges granted by these rules may be exercised by only persons or organizations that are part of the news media. Part G. Objections limited. An appellate court shall not exercise its appellate or supervisory jurisdiction to review at the request of any news media persons or organization seeking to exercise a privilege conferred upon them by these rules, by any other ruling, or any judge of these rules. 2. Any party or any person or entity with sufficient interest may object to cameras in the courtroom by filing a motion for the courtroom closure under Rule 1-104 NMRA, Rule 3-114 NMRA, Rule 5-124 NMRA, Rule 7-115 NMRA, or Rule 12-322 NMRA. Part H. Impermissible use of media material. None of the film, videotape, still photographs, or audio reproductions that develop during or by virtue of coverage of a judicial proceeding shall be admissible as evidence in the proceeding out of which it arose. Any proceeding subsequent or collateral thereto, or upon any retrial or appeal or such proceeding. Part I. Other courts. The broadcasting, televising, photographing, recording court proceedings in courts other than appellate, district, metro courts in Mexico is prohibited. As amended, effective September 1st, 1989, August 17th, 1999, as amended by Supreme Court Order Number 16-8300-022, effective for all cases pending or filed after December 31st, 2016.
Everyone has a podcast. Everyone has a YouTube channel. Everyone is now a citizen journalist.